Hey, what's up there? You won? Hell. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hey man, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Doing pretty good, pretty good.
Hey man.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Oh, because I don't see myself on the stream. Hmm.
Yes, that's because I'm just putting the layout on.
Okay, legit.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see if.
Now you're on the stream. Yes.
Alright, cool. Let me tweet this out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I tweeted it before, but I'll do it again.
Awesome.
Hmm.
All right. Now you have you're over on the stream. Okay, man. All right, D1. First of all, I wanna congratulate you for your recent extreme success. I've been seeing you stream a lot lately. Pretty good stuff, man. Great content.
Thank you.
I also want to congratulate you for your social media outreach for the community. It's been awesome so far. You really been putting a great face for the Smash community and a really professional one. So personally, I look up to you in many ways on how to present myself in different ways. And personally, man, I recently got some new clothes and I definitely got inspired from you, man. So yeah, props to you on that one, man.
Nope. Thank you, man. No problem. No problem.
Hashtag men for grants.
You know it. Oh man.
I know it. I know it. All right, man. That's awesome. That's
Whew.
awesome. So first question I want to have for you, man, is your involvement in the Smash community. When did this whole thing started?
All right. Let's see. As a competitive player, yeah. I'd say
The whole
late.
beginning.
Okay, cool. So yeah, late 2004 would be fair to say. Late 2004, early 2005. I was a lurker around '04 though.
And then after that,
Can you hear me?
and after
Let's see,
that,
you're
yes,
cutting.
yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. You're cutting in and out. All right, we're
Oh no,
back.
that's
Um,
because I mute my mic in when people are talking, so I don't interrupt or anything.
oh, okay, cool, 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 cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see. So around '04 to I'd say '08. Brawl was released in '08, correct? Or zero?
Mhm. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so Brawl was released in '08, correct?
Yes. Oh wait.
Okay. All right. So from '04 to '08, I was playing Melee competitively. Um, I remember I was able to actually attend the MLG events that they had for Melee, the grassroots and the official like MLG events
That's hype.
where, they actually rented out venues and had people come through. It was a big spectacle. They had the Halo and all that there. It was those were magical times, man, I'll tell you. And when Brawl was released, I quickly switched over to Brawl. A couple people in the Melee people community were salty about that, but to me, I looked at it as a new opportunity to, of course, see the community grow. Because once the new game comes out, a lot of people are gonna jump the bandwagon that don't even play Melee. Because a lot of people, when they see Melee, they see wave dashing, L canceling, all that technical stuff.
Mhm.
If they hear a new game's gonna come out, they're gonna actually be more inclined to want to hop on to the new game. So I was like, okay, of course we're gonna have tons of new people join the scene, which they did. I remember Alex Strife of Apex. He hosted a tournament called Plane Trade, and let me tell you, this was like within the first couple months that Brawl was released. There was like 150 people, I think, at that venue. You know how crazy that is?
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, man. It was a small little, a small little game store. People had to like wait outside to actually, they had to wait outside for their matches. If they weren't playing, they had to wait outside. Anyway, so yeah, I remembered I was around when all those old school players were playing. I've seen Muta King when he was bad, when people never listened to Muta King, when Muta King would sit there and just keep churning out tons of statistics and matchup knowledge. People were like, oh, whatever, Jason, you don't really win tournaments. And once he started winning, people actually started, listening to him. But yeah, in '09. I'd say '09 was around the time that I finally stopped playing Brawl. And I guess I just wanted to, I miss the feeling of just getting, I'm really a fast-paced combo game type guy. I like games like those, and of course, Brawl has true combos. I will not harp on it because I played it for a good solid 2 years, so I enjoyed the game. But I guess I just wanted to get into the newer fighting games that were coming out, so I hopped into the anime community, joined the FGC. I was involved a lot with Empire Katie at the time, and I remember picking up Street Fighter 4. It came out in '09, and as I was playing in the FGC and all that, I started missing the Smash community. Like the Smash community was really cool, and I kind of missed that family kind of feel I got from the Smash community. Everyone was like familiar with each other. They were just you kind of felt like they were brother and sister. When I was in FGC, just coming into it, I kind of felt like I was the odd kid. They all knew I played Smash, but it didn't really feel. It kind of felt strange. I didn't really feel like we were as together as I was in the Smash community. So I kind of decided, you know what? Since in New York City there weren't that many local events that were happening because we had a LAN center called Web2Zone, which we've had for years back in the day. Let me tell you, Web2Zone was one of the main reasons why the Melee community back then flourished. Because it was in Manhattan. If you guys don't know about Manhattan, it's like the central borough in New York City. So anybody that lived in all the other boroughs, New York City has five boroughs: Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. All those boroughs surround Manhattan. Manhattan is usually the central point. So if you had a venue in Manhattan, everybody could come from all the other boroughs and meet up at Manhattan, which was like perfect. So there was a land center in Manhattan called Web2 Zone. And once we lost that land center, that's when the Smash community started getting smaller and smaller. So when I realized that, Alucard, he was hosting events. He hosted Revival of Melee. That was great. And he's been hosting also the No Johns events. Alex Strife and his crew were hosting Melee and Brawl events as well. But the events didn't really have the turnouts that the Web 2 Zone events had when you know we had that land center in Manhattan.
Mhm.
So what happened was I said, okay, I'll try to take it up upon myself to find a venue that's in New York City because Alucard's events when he hosted No Johns, they were in Nanuet, New York. So Nanuet is like in an area that isn't necessarily there isn't necessarily in the city. You'd have to take a car or Metro North up outside of New York City, which is kind of inconvenient for New York City players that are accustomed to taking a Metro card and just swiping their way from one area to the other, using the MTA.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can find a venue in New York City. If not Manhattan, maybe Brooklyn or something, and try to see if I can get the locals to find a place to play again. Because I know players are tired of asking for rides to New Jersey, asking for rides to Long Island or Nanuet or upstate, something. I said, let me find something where all the players could just spend $2.50 and they'll be able to get to any venue in New York City. So I finally found a venue. It was in Brooklyn, and I started hosting. What was the name of the event? It was called the Dip Series. So
Mm.
the reason it was called Dip was because there was an inside joke in New York City where I'll be quick with this story. Basically, I was hosting a Smash Fest at my house, and it was me. Who was it? It was me, G Money, Christmas, and Taka. Taka's a local player from New Jersey. He mains Doc, Ganon, and etc. So we were all playing Melee, and at one point, my dad, every time I used to host Smash Fest at my house, my dad would just like come into the room and he would start interrogating the Smashers. So the Smashers are all hanging back, whatever. They're just like hanging back, and we're all playing. And I don't know where my dad shows up. I'm like, oh, here we go. So my dad comes into the room. He's like, all right, so um, do you guys have a job? Have you guys ever?
Oh my god.
You
Oh
right?
my god.
He's like, do you have a job? Have you ever been to jail? And I'm just
Really?
sitting here, yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously, dude. I'm
Did he ever
like, oh my.
question Mutikin?
Oh, I never actually had Music King at my house.
Okay.
Because only reason for that, no offense to Music King, but I was just I used to hear stories back then of what he did to people's houses, and I wasn't sure if they were true or not. So I was scared to house him back then. I was like, I'm cool with being seeing him at tournaments, and of course seeing him at Smash Fest stuff like that, but and on the internet talking to him. But I was the rumors kind of got me scared, so I was like, I don't know, my parents are a little too weird. I don't want them to ask him certain questions. And Music King's a really honest person, so if you ask Mr. King a question, he'll give you the honest truth of how he feels about something. He will not hold back. So since I feel like Mr. King didn't have a filter, I was like, I don't know how Mr. King might react if he talks to my parents. So maybe it's best I don't try to have too many people come over because my parents are like weird. So anyway, whatever. Um, back to back to the story. So my dad is interrogating my friends, and as he's interrogating them, my brother, he's like, "Why don't you just dip?" To my dad, right? And my dad is like, I don't know what you're saying. Speak English." So then my brother goes, "That means you could dip." And then he just like my dad, he gets angry. He runs straight to my brother at his bed. He has his fist up like this.
Oh man.
I start hearing. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And we just run out of the house, right? I'm like, whoa, my brother and my dad are fighting right now, and I was just having a fest, and it was ridiculous. Like, as we try to run out of the house, I realize I look back in my room, I see Christmas. She's in a corner like this. I was like, dang, I gotta get Christmas out of here. I was like, Christmas, let's get out of here. So we're all outside on my front porch, and we're all dying. We're just laughing our tails off, and all G Money keeps saying is, "That means you could dip," and he's like, "Ha ha ha!" The G Money laugh, and he's just
Yeah.
laughing over and over, and that's all we kept saying. We just kept yelling "dip," and laughing and laughing and laughing the whole night. So yeah, in New York City, we just started yelling the word "dip" for no reason. Like we would just see each other, and we're like "dip," and we'd just start laughing. Everybody would laugh, and we started telling everybody else what happened, like where'd that come from, and that basically was the name of my event. So
Did your brother
that's
actually get beat up?
I okay. My dad's a pretty big guy, so I don't know. When I came back, he didn't look like he was bruised or anything. I don't know what happened, but my brother could fight and my dad could fight as well. But when I look back in the room, I think it was a stalemate. We'll chalk it up to that because they both didn't really look bruised. It just looked like my brother he wasn't in the mood to talk. My dad wasn't in the mood to talk. I was like, okay, this is a weird situation. People fight before. The moment I have a Smash Fest out of nowhere, they decide to fight, and I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. This was I didn't expect it to happen, but it did. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the name of my tournament series for a bit. That it was called Dip, and also I had a Brawl tournament series too that I called TNA. And when people didn't know what it stood for, I put in parentheses trips and air dodges. It was just in
Oh my god.
satire. It was in satire, of course. I wasn't making fun of Brawl or anything, but people liked the name, so people actually used to show up. So yeah, those were the series that I was holding in '09, and I think around '09 too, I started commentating a little bit, which was something new. Like I think it was Chain Ace. Chain Ace had a laptop, and this laptop he always had like a recording setup basically.
Mhm.
Not streaming, not streaming. So he was recording events at Alucard's event, and I believe people also brought laptops to my event. And I just me and Prague, we would just be hanging around, and we were like, you know what? How about we just how about we just like start commentating on the match? They're like, yo, you know what? Just go on the just go on the laptop and just commentate whatever for fun. So like, all right, cool. We're just gonna go have fun with it and see what happens.
Mhm.
So we commentated, and people actually were starting to like the matches. They're like, you know what? I'm starting to like this because we're watching the matches, and all we used to see was just whatever's happening on the screen, and to actually hear a voice behind it, like explaining stuff that's happening, it kind of made people feel like they were watching a sport. They liked it, and they kept making us do it more. And to me, I said, I'm just doing this for fun. Like I never actually thought it would get big. But I talked to Waffles. I'm trying to remember what year. I think it was '09 or '10. There was a "Don't Go Down There, Jeff" tournament that happened for Melee, and
Mm-hmm.
Waffles invited me out. He was like, "Yo, I hear you're getting like popular with commentary," and I was like, "What? Like, people really like this stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I came out to California, and it was me, G Money. I think Hacks went and a couple others. And I hopped on the mic with Waffles and I think Phil too at one point. I think mainly with Waffles though. And I hung out with them on the West Coast and it was just great. And I said, you know what? If people actually met me there and they told me how they liked the work that I did, and I said, you know what, this probably might be something I should start taking seriously because I noticed people are actually learning from the commentary, because some people they don't understand all the stuff that's going on, and if you actually walk them through it, explain what's going on once the two opponents interact on stage and the positions that they're in and why certain positions benefit them and why certain positions are actually disadvantageous, which moves that they utilize to cover multiple options, why they did that move, why certain moves are unsafe, what is the most optimal punish, why would you sometimes not go for the most optimal punish, but just a combo that would necessarily put your opponent off stage, setting up for an edge guard, just a whole bunch of stuff. And I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing this because I realize even in the FGC tournaments, a lot of these guys, they're going super hard with trying to explain to people why Ultra David, James Chen, Yipes, all those guys. I started learning. I was like, you know what? Um, Before when I did commentary, it was just strictly hype because I really liked seeing Homemade Waffles with his like Wombo combo video and getting people hype like that. I thought to myself, maybe I could try to see if I can do a mix of that, like provide hype, make people laugh and all that stuff, but at the same time learn about the game. So I know Apex 2010, Alex Strife, he reached out to me. He said, "Yo, it would be really great if I could have like you, Dogi, Samich, Prog, and some others get on the microphone and try to." Basically, come through looking professional, make the event look real nice. And I said, you know what, this is cool. We're actually starting to look like legit, like NFL casters. Like you see the sports on the sports channels. You see the guys come in, they have the suit, the tie, etc., and they come in looking fresh. I said, you know what? 2010, because in '09, let me tell you, man, '09 I used to wear '09, and before that, I used to just wear like the baggiest of clothes, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was, my clothes used to be sloppy. I never matched, nothing like that. Zero. It was a mess. But in 2010, I said, okay, I'm gonna start commentating. I'm gonna start representing the scene a little more. You know what? Apex is coming. We're gonna have a lot of people come to the event from out of the country. Let's put on a nice big show for them. So I said, let me start actually dressing nice to these events, try to make our scene look more marketable. Because the thing I was thinking is they're gonna have sponsors watching these events, right? So and potential sponsors. So if sponsors and potential sponsors are gonna be watching this stream, why in the world would you want to present yourself under microphone, seeming with a derogatory speech and not trying to dress the part, not trying to look professional on the mic. You want to let the people see that we're actually worth investing time and money into. So I said, okay, let's start trying to clean up our act. Comment. I know, like in '09 when I commented, I used to use a lot of swear words and all that. And I said, okay, in 2010, I'm going to try to switch it up, try to use less bad words, try to actually look more presentable, more marketable. That way, if ever big time esports people, or companies look at Smash, they'll actually want to think about maybe picking up players, stuff like that, because our scene is starting to look more professional and all that. So, as the years went by, I still kept doing my thing, still kept making sure I go to tournaments. I was hosting events, I was helping people with hosting events. I would even do a lot of damage control when it comes to the Smash community on social media. Like a lot of times, people would be talking crap about the Smash community on social media
Mm.
before a lot of you guys actually got on Twitter. And I was like one of the few guys out there trying to defend Smash, like tell them, this and that about our game. Yes, our game actually does take a lot of technical skill, possibly maybe even more than the other conventional fighting games. You know how it was back then. Smash is not a real fighter. I was
Yeah,
one of
so
those.
you were at this for a pretty good while, you know. You've been around
Yeah.
for this doing this. Props to you,
hmm
man.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So let me see. Let me try to hurry up with this story though. But
No, you don't have to. You can use details. People are loving it. Take your time, man. I enjoy listening.
okay, cool, cool, cool. So let me see, where am I? All right, so 2010 Apex happens, and this time we have the FGC there. And the beautiful thing about that is Alex Strife. He had this vision, basically, to have the fighting game community and um and Smash like together, like
That's that was a
actually,
pretty big dream back in the day.
yeah, right. Like that was one of the biggest things, man. Like he's been always like trying his best to see if the all those people that hated on Smash for years, always saying, "Oh, the right way to play the game is this way and not that way." That whole debate, it could last forever. So he said, "How about we just try to see if we can find a way to host a fighting game event and host a Smash event? We have both of these guys together under the same roof, having a good old time and respecting each other's games."
Mhm.
So um, we had um we had Apex happen. Of course, Apex 2012. There were a couple things that went wrong as far as like the fighting game room was a little too hot or whatever. But at the end of the day, when the fighting game community people saw Smash, they respected Smash. They saw it. They were like, "Yo, Smash community is actually legit. Look at all these players who've been playing this game for mad years." You know what I'm saying? It didn't even matter if they were playing Brawl or Melee. And the thing I liked about FGC, they would see our community and they looked at us as the Smash community. They didn't look at us as Melee. They didn't look at us as 64. They didn't look at us as Brawl. They look at us all under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah.
all, to them, we're all together. Like we should, that, which is why I always try to push that whole thing about one unit. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I know how people there's tons of people out there. They're like too prideful about Brawl or Melee or 64. But that shouldn't really matter. Or even Project M, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when I hear people like always arguing about that because at the end of the day, someone's feelings are gonna get hurt when you keep talking about, oh, this is better than that. Instead of all that, it's a useless argument. No one really wins at the end of the day. Instead, just respect people for playing their own game and you play your game. And that's it. So, because like I said, the other people from the other communities, when they see our scene, they see us all the same. So we might as well just like grin and bear. We're all the same scene, and we need to respect others. Because just like the Smash community allows people that are like white, black, gay, religious, not religious, all those different kind of stuff, transgender, handicap, any different kind of like thing you could mention, creed, whatever. We could all be from different backgrounds and all that stuff, man. We're still together in this Smash community. We're still one. So if we could all get past each other's differences, why can't we all get past the fact that other people play different games? You know what I'm saying, Zero?
Exactly. It really matters because a lot of people I see are just discussing about melee is better than here, melee is here or brawl here, but like in the end of the day, like I've always said ever since like '08 or '07, like man, like even though '07 because of fighting game, because back when before Brawl was actually out, people will argue about Street Fighter, Marvel, whatever, and Melee. They will be like, Melee is not a technical game. Melee is a party game. Melee is here, Melee is there, and then when Brawl came out, they're like Brawl here, Brawl there. It's like it's I'm gonna say like Jibes one time put it, EFC Jibes. He said if you're not getting hate, who are you? Now
Mm,
and that's the thing. Like, if you're doing things right, there's gonna be people out there who are gonna disagree with you. Like, I remember that I've been discussing with because I've been really vocal in social media lately, and I've been having a lot of arguments about with people. Like, because I'm the kind of person that really dislikes arguing because arguing gets you nowhere. I like to find the middle point and get people to agree. That's what I like to call my job in general.
mhm,
I like to find the middle point and just get people to agree on that. Now the thing is that what we can all agree on is tournaments, more activity, more social media exposure, more content. That's things we can all agree on. Now if I make a post being like, smash here, game one, game two, that's not gonna end anywhere, man. It's not productive at the end of the day. So I really agree with the whole thing you're saying about hashtag one unit, which I really greatly support. The thing is that it's hard to change people's opinions over time because there's this one thing about people in general where they want to be honest about their own opinion, but the fact is that if your opinion is basically I don't like this and I don't want to support it, then at that point you gotta realize my opinion is not helpful because
Mhm.
people say that everyone has their own right to say their opinion, and that's fine. I agree with that. Everyone has their own
Yeah.
liberty, but if your opinion
Mhm.
gets no nowhere really, like there's no point in even saying it to yourself. It's not bad, but it's just like it just helps nowhere. Like for example, if your opinion out there is I don't like Brawl and I don't support it, that's fine. I'm not gonna make you play Brawl, but you don't have to go on Facebook and make a post about it saying, "Man, I don't like Brawl." That just helps nobody, and you should just keep it to yourself. Instead, if your comment is "I like Melee a lot," that's fine. People are gonna
Mhm.
agree. People are gonna agree on that, and it's a nice comment. I will probably look at the comment and like it. So it's like I think that we need to make mark the difference between saying your opinion and being helpful. On my own side, I know that my role is to produce content, establish social media for Smash as well. Kind of do what you're doing. Follow your steps as well,
Thanks, man.
and at the same time keep more top player representation because for a while, man, um, yeah, I don't want to call out any names because there's no names to be called out. I just want to say that for a long period of time, top players were had their own knowledge and they didn't really have a way of sharing, or they didn't really share it, for different reasons. Now I feel that we're up to a point where we have to do it. We have to, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. I've been just doing content. Like, if there's a week where I don't stream or I don't do like write at least an article, at least on Reddit, I just feel bad. I'm just like I was useless that week. And so for my goal, my actual goal so far has been to write an article every single day.
Yeah.
So far I've been keeping it up, and to
Mhm.
stream at least 3 times a week, at least.
I respect
And
that, man.
yes, and attend a tournament every week, and that's been my goal for like a while, and I've done it so far. Now I'm doing another process, which is to bridge communities together. Every time I write an article, I want to translate that to Spanish. I've been doing
Mhm.
that so far, so it's like been dual content so far. I've done it with the past two PM pit guys that I just put up. I'm gonna put on more content so far. So it's like the two people I look up to most right now in the Smash community, and in terms of what we can do to professionalize the community, are you and Prog. Like you guys are literally all over the place. Like I just don't understand how you guys make it work. I'm just to the point where I take notes. Of course, man. I keep thinking to myself, if I had the ability to commentate half, 50% of the skill that Tier 1 or Pro have at commentating, I will probably, change up streaming in general for top players. But hey, man, I can't do that just yet. I need to practice a lot more.
Mhm.
So it's like there's a lot more things that everyone can do, and I feel that we're getting there because the thing that always bothered me about the Smash community was the fact that at one point, maybe like a couple of years before, the only people that were doing, things to move forward were only a couple handful, and
Yeah.
they didn't really get much support. So you had to do everything on your own, and it was really difficult. Now we have people that are willing to step it up and are willing to take their own lead. We have people like MDC, completely revolutionizing the scene in NE. Then we have people like Juggle Guy, who's been completely revamping the scene over there in the Midwest. And then we have tri-state people just being like content absolutely everywhere. It's like in the West Coast, stepping it up with the fighting game community as well. Then we have the Smash Bros. Community. So it's been like a lot of people doing a lot of things in their own side and you know discovering their own role and doing the best
Mhm.
they can in their own position. And that's what I think the Smash community needs. Find your own
Yeah.
role and do what you can. If you like to go to tournaments, go to a lot of tournaments. If you like to write things, write things. If you like to host tournaments, make sure you I don't know host tournaments. I don't know, man.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, I feel that we're in such a good position right now. We can only be better, and with Smash 4, it's gonna be so hype. So
Seriously.
I really, really like your story because it's definitely one to really, really consider about because you were doing these things before they were even popular. Like just like me in a lot of ways. So props to you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Let me see. Where was? Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can backtrack. Oh yeah, okay. So where I was earlier, basically talking about Apex 2012.
Mhm.
What I really liked was how like 2013 basically was kind of like that golden year, for Smash. Some people, of course, will say Melee, but it's good to try to make us focus on each other as one community. So I'm just gonna say for Smash, because that's what everybody else says in the articles. They don't really say Melee; they say Smash. So yeah, 2013 was one of those golden years for Smash. Well, specifically Melee, since it was a game that seemed like it was dying, and out of nowhere, just with the support of course, um, Samox, who, if you guys didn't donate already to the Kickstarter, please do right away, because he has, you guys could already see this is one of the main reasons why Zero is streaming right now for 24 hours. It's mainly for Armada's documentary. A player who didn't get covered in the documentary, who I think this guy has a lot to say, especially because he's from outside of the country. I'm like shaking in my boots to hear what Armada has to say, as far as sharing his story. But yeah, man, 2013 was crazy. Like Apex 2013 basically started off the tournament season in the right foot. First off, it was, if I'm not mistaken, chosen as an Evo qualifier, which was pretty big. Like, it's been a while since we've had Evo. I think Smash at Evo.
I
Like we've
believe
had.
I
Mhm.
believe it was last time in 2009 with the Brawl.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I actually was there. I entered Brawl there. I saw not Allied, Ally,
Mm-hmm.
Mewtwo King.
My
Oh
case.
man, yep, my case. Let me tell you, man, I met so many cool people in the Brawl community. Like all the people that think that like to put down Brawl and all that stuff. I actually had such an amazing time when I was part of that community. I met so many good friends that I'm still good friends with, till this day. And I have had amazing trips. Being able to attend those MLG events were so much fun. Did you get to attend any, Zero, if you don't mind me asking?
No, no, no. I was pretty much a melee only player until 2000, until early 2009. Then I picked up role more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can tell you a little bit more about myself if you want. I entered this national tournament in Chile that had like 200 entrants for melee and brawl. It
Yeah.
was a very big tournament, and I was practicing so much for melee and so much for brawl. Back then, I was an ice climber main in brawl and a fox main in melee as always. I made it
Mm-hmm.
to grand finals in melee, where I had to face the best player in Chile back then, who not only was beating the best players in the other region, because the best players in Chile were always the one on the extreme north. Chile being very big country, very long country. It's like, imagine all the players are tri-state. Almost all of them. That's Santiago, the central, the capital of the city, and then
Yeah.
the best players are all in one small city at the end of West Coast, at the end, just all the way over there, like really long trip. So no one really had access to play them, and they would just come here once a year and just bop us all, destroy us all, no matter what. Like, it would just destroy us. That's where Dark is from. That's
Yeah.
that's legendary Dark. Like, people will just talk about Dark. Do you know Dark can just shine you 4 times in a row and then grab you without even
Of
looking at the
course.
control? That's
Oh
crazy.
wow.
Yes, he was.
Wow.
People have legendary stories about him like that. I remember people were talking about Roche. His Marth was like being compared to Mewtwokin's Marth back in '07 and '08, and then the
Mhm.
Star came down one tournament randomly and destroyed everybody. Like easy with Captain Falcon, just made it look easy. And then so I had the chance to play with the famous Captain Falcon Ghost, who was beating everybody at that point. I lose the first set 3-2 last head. Come
Mhm.
back into losers, beat Roche the Marth. Then I come back into grand finals, win the first set 3-2, and then the
Wow.
third set we went to game 5, and then he beat me in the final game. I was like, I was 12 years old back in that day,
Yeah.
or 11, 12 or 11, and yeah, and then I was on winners semifinals for Brawl. Where I
Mhm.
was I was I was thinking I was beating everybody in friendlies too. I was on fire that day. And some people were really mad at me because I was chain grabbing people with ice climbers. That was like back when ice climbers weren't really known. And
Yeah.
the TOs got mad at me for chain
Mhm.
grabbing people, and they banned the chain grab mid tournament.
Oh wow.
And I had to play the best Meta Knight player in that point, and they told me I wasn't able to grab them at all. I was banned
Mhm.
from grabbing people.
Oh my God, really?
Yes, so I had to play ice climbers with no chain grabs and no grabs, and I just got
That's
double two stock easy because People just rush me and don't even care. And you know who that Meta Knight was?
Who?
You wouldn't believe me. That was no wait. This is another Meta Knight, but that Meta Knight was Zan, uh, player from Santiago that took third or so. And
Oh.
then I had to play in losers against the one and only Weon X.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause he lived in Chile.
Yes,
Correct.
and he was a Brawl player too.
Mhm.
For he was pretty into Brawl too. He was a Mana player too. I had to play him
Yeah.
with my climbers with no grabs at all. He just double two stuck me too. So I was extremely mad with the Smash community in my country, and I quit the Smash community for a whole year because
Oh
of it.
wow.
Yes, because they cheer against me for the whole duration of grand finals, and because he was playing Captain Falcon, I'm playing Fox, so screw the 12-year-old kid, it doesn't matter
Mm,
who he is, we're just cheering for Falcon. And then they
mm.
banned the changes on me, and I'm just like, man, fuck this guys.
Oh man.
So I quit Smash, right? I went over to Halo. I started winning.
Mhm.
I was always in Halo. I had a 50 rank in MLG, the maximum one. I was pretty good. I was winning the game battles tournaments, ladders and stuff like that. Tournaments online. I was pretty good at that. I started winning a lot of tournaments in the country
Yep.
For Halo 3. And at some point, I remember they announced it on some Facebook this another national for Smash, and I was keeping up with the MLG Brawl days that you mentioned. Right, I was around for Smash but I just didn't play, and I was like, MLG having Smash? What?
Yeah.
So
Mm,
who's the best player right now?
mhm.
And then I check up the leaderboards and I'm like, Mewtwokin first. Who is Mewtwokin? I didn't know about
Mhm.
Mewtwokin back then. I had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
This is 2010, and I was like, I need to see how this guy plays. And I saw the way he played Meta Knight, and my jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit. I literally, alright. So I had no money to travel. I live like 6 hours away from the Santiago tournaments. That's a pretty
Mhm.
expensive trip. Imagine that going to a tournament in Santiago takes half of your rent.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. If you're paying, for example, let's say $240 for rent in Chile, just to put a number,
Mhm.
and then you have to spend $120 to make it to a tournament there. You just can't afford it. You just can't. And my mom and I were a pretty humble family back then,
Mhm.
and in the sense that we didn't really have much money to spare, so we had to work for it. So
Oh.
I had to work at a local fruit company where I will just pick up fruits outside the city with the sun hitting on my back, dealing with spiders. Even though I have a phobia for spiders, I just still did it. Did it for a
Mhm.
month and a half. Got enough money to go there. My mom also helped me out with some money. Made it there. It took me like $200 to go there. It was really expensive too.
Oh my gosh.
Managed to find housing last second. Made it there, and I practiced Brawl. I hadn't have a Wii back then, so my goal was to play Mewtwo and beat him at that point.
Yeah.
I already was set on going to the US at that point. And so I picked up Meta Knight, went to Brawl, and I told myself, alright, this is what we're gonna do now. I will go to work at 6 in the morning.
Mhm.
I wasn't on break for school at that point. I would just go to, work 6 in the morning to 6 p.m. Then I will go over to my friend's house, 45 minutes on boss each way, practice 3 hours with him in Brawl, and then come back home and sleep.
Yeah.
That was my life for a month and a half steady.
Mm.
I went to the tournament and won the national. I
Wow.
had like 210 people, and I 6-0 in grand finals. I beat everybody.
Woo.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I shut them all up. They were all so salty. I
Good stuff, man.
was, and I placed 15 melee too without practicing. I was like, okay. And then
Oof.
after that point, I met Chivo online, by applying to BBB Gaming, and then the CT days came up after Apex 2012, the donation drive for me to get there. A lot of stuff
Mhm.
happened, but that's like a general overview. So when you do say, I was around for the MLG days, I was actually around for there, but in a different way in the spirit. So if you fast forward almost 4 years after that the first time I actually beat Mewtwo in a tournament, and so far it meant so much for me because it's been like a long. It doesn't mean much the fact that I beat him. It means the fact that it built up and all the things that I did to culminate into that
Yeah.
moment. That
Mhm.
I can't really express the feeling on on just words or on just like on the video. You can't really watch the video and just tell, but well maybe you can see because I was jumping around in happiness, but it's just the combination of things. So it really touches me when you go over the old back days, because it's like I really always wanted to be there, but I just couldn't be there for a lot of reasons. And
Oh,
now that's why I've always been against distance, because I hate being able to not do things because of distance. It's always been a thing about me. I always felt like I had to be in the United States to do things. Now look at me now. I've been staying here for 4.5 months now. I'm gonna be here for a lot more time. I'm gonna be here for Smash 4. So hey man, I'm around now.
sweet, sweet.
So I don't want to take up the spotlight from you now, but I feel like I wanted to. You were sharing a lot of you about yourself. So I wanted to
No, I
also
no,
share
I
with you.
really like. I really like that. I actually appreciated hearing your part of the story. Let me tell you, man, I accidentally sometimes end up interviewing the people that are interviewing me, man. Because it happens, because I interview people a lot when it comes to events. So I apologize for that, but I actually think it was good for you to share to me your story. But let me see. But yeah, 2013. Back to 2013. Apex 2013 was big. You remember it? Were you there?
Yes, I was there
Okay,
for Apex 2012 and 2013.
okay. Because I know you. Yeah, you said you were at 12, but yeah, 13. That was a really big event. Like I said, Evo happened. We were like a Evo qualifier. I mean, so that was. Let me tell you, man. So the scariest thing that happened when it came to planning for Apex, every time Apex is about to happen, the whole entire staff they get all worried, because Smashers, man, let me tell you, these Smashers always like to register till the last second when it comes to events, and that kills TOs, man. Because we're sitting here, I'm like I work with Strife, Christmas, and a whole bunch of other TOs before, and whenever they host events, they're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know if we'll be able to have enough people come to the event. Like, it looks like an X amount only registered. And I'm like, come on now, these are smashers we're talking about. How about we just wait a bit? These guys are going to come in droves once we say, like, it's the deadline. And more are going to show up afterwards when the deadline actually hits. So deadline comes through, you see a big surge, and I'm like, what did I tell you guys? So a bunch of people show up, and a bunch of people registered. And then another crazy thing, for the FGC, we didn't have a lot of people that actually registered, which scared us as well. We're like, man, we dedicated um, a certain amount of setups and all this stuff and money towards getting people for the FGC to come to Apex 2013, because 2012, a couple FGC players weren't, they felt like they were more treated as if it was a side event when it came to the FGC side. So 2013 comes around, and once SRK announced, SRK is SureYouCan.com. That's like the main hub. Like, you know how we have Smashboards.com? They
Mhm.
have SureYouCan.com for the
Yep.
FGC.
Yep.
So they announced that Apex 2013 is now an Evo qualifier.
Oh my god, I remember
So,
that.
and the funny thing was, this was not for Smash. This was just specifically for wait. I'm trying to think. I think this was for the 2012. It was an Evo qualifier. Yeah. It was 2012.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so. I think
2012.
so.
Yeah,
For
2012 was an Evo qualifier. I forget. My mistake. I'm mixing up stories. Anyway, I will tell you one thing about 2012. 2012, they were waiting for a lot of people to show up for FGC, but they didn't until they got announced that it was an Evo qualifier. But for 2013, we actually just had to do a lot of promoting on our own to just basically let people know, we learned from our mistakes. We had to do a lot of damage control. They had me go on SureYouCan.com, go on numerous social media websites. That's where most of my social media presence came from, because when I worked with Apex, I was Apex's guy that would basically try to represent Smash and try to help out with making Apex and Smash look better in the FGC's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mhm.
was just mainly doing that for Apex at first, but then I started doing that for Smash in general. So when it came to like seeing people say bad stuff about Apex, I had to like let people know, we're gonna take everything you said into consideration from 2012, and we're gonna make 2013 way better. We'd love for you guys to return to come to the event. And the reason they used me for that is because I used to be super heavy in the FGC when I stopped playing Brawl in '09. From '09 till onward, even though I was like commentating and hosting Smash events, at the same token, I was still frequenting a lot of FGC tournaments. I'd go to FGC tournaments and I would, meet people, let them know about Smash, a little bit here and there. And, basically try to build more relationships with people in the FGC so that maybe Smash could actually get a better, look better in the public's eyes. So yeah, 2013 comes around, and we actually had a good, amazing showing. We had a lot of great people show up, and it was a really fun event. If I'm not mistaken, 2013 was that Mewtwo King versus Salem Grand Finals?
Hmm.
Yes, that was super hype. We even had people like Ultra David there. We had Yipes there, and they were actually super excited to see all the high level Brawl play. You know what I'm saying? Like to all the naysayers that always like to put down Brawl. We even had people from the FGC watching Brawl and jumping out of their seats. They really enjoyed to see the gameplay.
I remember
So
that one dude that was like drunk on stage screaming. I remember asking him like, "Can you please not scream louder than the game?"
okay, okay. Oh well, I don't know if you want me to touch on that, but
Sure, go
all
ahead.
right. Okay, so basically it was a misunderstanding. There was a player called CD Junior and Exax, if I'm not mistaken, is the player in question. He was the one that was
I know
he was
CD
he
Junior. I used to be sponsoring the same company as him, BB Gaming.
hmm
I know who you're talking about. I don't know him personally though.
yeah, so CD Junior, he's like a big NRS games player. NRS is like NetherRealm Studios. Those guys usually make games for make Injustice, I believe Mortal Kombat as well, like games like those.
Hmm.
So if you ever see like a Mortal Kombat game or Mortal Kombat styled game, you'll see CD Junior there, and he also plays other ones, other fighters too. But he's mainly a Mortal Kombat and Justice player. So he was there, and he was hyped to see what was going on in Brawl, and he was actually hyping up the matches. He wasn't crapping on it, but I believe Exax, he was trying to enjoy the matches without having people just screaming over and over, like and like going crazy. And I guess that kind of broke his concentration from the match, and he wasn't really enjoying it. And CD Junior, he's from the FGC. So when you're from the FGC, people we get loud
I
whenever they
know.
see stuff in FGC all the time. Like I've been to FGC events and I've been to Smash events. When I go to Smash events, like if it's not New York City, and maybe a select few other regions, if I see hype stuff going on, you wouldn't hear that much like screaming and like a lot of like crazy stuff going on. You just hear like a little cheer, oh, and that's about it. But CD Junior, he brought the FGC with him, that whole FGC personality when he came to Apex. Like he was
Hmm.
getting hype. He was just like saying a whole bunch of stuff, and he was just just hyping up the match. And Exax, he wasn't really appreciating that. He just wanted to enjoy the matches the way he was.
Hmm.
So the regular way that he usually does, just like without all the crazy screaming and all that. So he kind of got upset. He was like, this is our event right now. Could we just enjoy this? And CD Junior, he was kind of drunk, but at the same time, he wasn't really appreciating the fact that Exax was trying to make him be quiet. So we basically acquiesced the whole situation. We're like, all right, guys, let's calm down. Nobody really fought or anything, but yeah, CD Junior was he was a little too hype for Exax's taste. That was basically it. Anyway,
I was
we're
up
gonna
there.
fast.
I was up there coaching Mewtwo, and I was just watching. I was like, oh my god, he's louder than the game. He's so hype.
It was crazy. It
Yeah,
was crazy.
I actually greatly enjoy back in like 2012 I used to have like little problem with people screaming because it would just distract me a lot, not because bother
Mhm.
me, it would just distract me. Now I'm so used to events in general, because Chile events are really quiet and USA events are really loud, and I didn't really was used to that. So in 2012 I have a small problem with it. Now though I'm just like, guys, please get hype, please show you love this, please.
Yeah, yeah. Show some life. You know what I'm saying? Get hype. This isn't a golf game, dude. Like we're here at a tournament. Like all these people spent like tons of money to come out to this event. We might as well come out and have a good time. Show some personality. And get excited. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah.
um yeah, man. But 2013, moving on from Apex, yeah, Apex was super hype. Um, then later on during the year, like a crazy surprise happened. We have that the poll where they were basically saying, oh, so if we were to have a Smash Brothers at an event, if we were to have a fighting game added to Evo 2013, which game would you want to have there? And it was crazy, a whole bunch of people just like came in droves for Smash Brothers. They were just came through and they're like, yo, Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers. You just saw tons of people pick Smash Brothers. And then I'm talking to like my fellow local Smashers about it whenever I attend a tournament or a Smash Fest. Hey, so what do you guys think? Like, there was a poll asking what kind of game we would want at an Evo event, and look at all these people picking Smash Brothers. That poll's not legit. Like people are gonna pick, Smash Brothers, but it's not gonna happen. Come on now, this is Evo. Like they're just gonna have fighting games there, and then boom, we have this like this crazy this crazy eighth spot, the coveted eighth spot for a game at Evo 2013. Which game will it be? And we actually see Smash Brothers Skullgirls and other games there on the list. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like Smash Brothers is here. So naysayers, what do you think? And they're like, oh, it's not like Smash Brothers is gonna win the instant drive. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, yeah, whatever, okay. But yeah, thanks to the efforts of like the Melee It On Me crew and a whole bunch of other people, and me and Prague, when we saw that happening, I was like, all right, Prague, we need to push for people to get on social media. And this was back then when Prague had like little to no followers. I was just like, yo, we need to make people get on social media. I had like a few hundred, whatever, but it was like nothing. But my main thing was just to get people to get on Twitter and to just let everyone on social media know that you want Smash at Evo. You know what I'm saying? Because like the thing is, a lot of people nowadays don't really understand the importance of Smash. I mean, the importance of Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it
Yeah.
comes to like competitive gaming. People, especially Smashers, have like a strong aversion when it comes to Twitter. They feel too comfortable with Facebook. They don't want to move on from that. It was funny because back then Smashers used to use MySpace. They went from MySpace to Facebook, and now they don't want to move on to Twitter. Like a couple of us, of course, are moving to Twitter, but it would be better if we had a even bigger, stronger presence there. But I think it's growing. But anyway, the thing that people don't know about Twitter is there are tons of companies out there that are always, just like looking to see what are the trends that are going on in certain gaming scenes, especially like sponsors and, even like teams, you know what I'm saying? And I wonder, man, if Smashers actually didn't try to, make use of Twitter, if we'd actually have people like HBox and Chillin joining Curse, or um, KDJ and Ken joining Team Liquid. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Of course, yes, we had the Smash documentary, and yes, it was like big on YouTube, but um, a lot of people were actually like sharing that all over on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like Twitter, people don't understand. Twitter is kind of like it's kind of like a newspaper, you know what I'm saying? Like you check
Yeah.
your timeline and you see the latest thing that's going on, you know what I'm saying? And yes, you can see that on Facebook, but Facebook is too personal. You have to be their friend for the most part to be
Hmm.
able to share information with certain people. Twitter, you don't have to be following a certain person to exactly know about certain things that are happening because people could retweet it, you know what I'm saying? Like um but yeah, Twitter is just less personal. All you do is just put out information and people could check it out. And let me tell you another thing too that people don't know. The more um the more things that, as far as people trying to get more followers on Twitter, the more things that you do that match your Twitter profile bio, the more followers you get. So if you're actually a person that says, "Hey, I'm a gardener and I like to read books by this. I like to read books, and I don't know. I like traveling." So your Twitter, it needs to be. We need to see stuff on your timeline like I don't know, flowers, you know what I'm saying? Gardens. We need to see like maybe beautiful pictures of certain like locales that we've never seen, maybe like Dubai and all sorts of stuff because you like traveling. And what else you like to read? So make sure your tweets cater to certain things like that, like what kind of literature you're into, you know what I'm saying? Like make sure you practice basically what you said your bio is doing, practice while you're preaching. Because a lot of people, they'll say on their bio, hey, I do this, that, and the third, and then they'll just start pumping out tweets totally unrelated to what their bio is, which is why people have to basically try to cater to their audience. Because when people look at your Twitter, they're like, okay, this person says that they're a commentator, a tournament host, etc., and they're into competitive gaming. So I'm gonna be expecting stuff related to competitive gaming. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. So you have to have consistency. But to get back on track, because I kind of went on a tangent, just try to help Smashers out with Twitter. Twitter, yeah, great tool. Whenever I talk to anybody that's in esports, they keep telling me, please tell Smashers to try to join Twitter because most of the advertising that they do is on Twitter. Twitter is a great, great tool for advertising. You could just go on there and you just let people know, hey, I have an event. Retweet this. Let's send this out to all your followers. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody now who's using Twitter could check it out. Like, I talk to these esports people. They say there's tons of Halo people, tons of FGC people, people from shooter crowd, all sorts of different competitive gaming scenes. Once they pump out a tweet about an event, a lot of people know about it and a lot of people come in droves. When it comes to Smash, it's sometimes hard to reach out to these people unless they're already using established known TOs or streamers or commentators that are going to be at the event. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say just more Smashers more smashers need to just get on Twitter, man, because it'll make it easier for all these people that are trying to do big things for Smash to reach out to you. Because you're not gonna see them on Facebook, I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of people that work behind the scenes. They won't say that they're checking out your Twitter, but they're looking at you, and you're lowering your chances of getting recognized by a big time company if you're not on Twitter. So please, I implore you all to go on Twitter. So anyway, back to Evo. Evo was great. We had the big spirit bomb, and they had a couple people that did a big snipe too. I know you were checking out the thing. We had everybody like doing the spirit bomb. We had people donate tons of money to Melee and even amazing Brawl players, which is why I feel like since Melee didn't Brawl didn't get chosen
Mm-hmm.
for MLG, that I'm still trying to push free SSBB whenever I get a chance. Like, I don't know if you knew, but on my stream, I was actually
Playing
doing
Brawl?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
actually
I, I
playing
was I
Brawl.
was watching it. I made sure to RT it. I retweeted that.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, it was super hard for me because I'm so used to just spamming like dash dancing and wave dashing. But I said, you know what? I'm still having fun. Falco's still my favorite character by far in that game. Like, I feel like I barely lost anything I had with Falco, but all my characters I lost tech skill. But yeah, he's still fun to use. I love the IAP Instant Air Phantasm. But yeah, moving on. Um yeah, man. It was crazy, I went to Evo. So when I finally went to Evo and Smash got into Evo and we won the whole thing, I've had like so many people come up to me and actually like ask for like they just thank me for the things I was doing. And let me tell you, Zero, I never even thought people really um held commentators in high regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought it was just the top players. We're just the guys behind the scenes, the unsung heroes. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that was cool, that was funny. But I never thought people really held us in high regard until like I went to Evo. Like, I had tons of people come up to me, shaking my hand, good job. And I'd say other than Apex, like the Apex team, other than them, I've never actually been compensated for my work before, for like actually commentating. Like, only the Apex team like ever compensated commentators. So from then on, ever since Evo, like ever since I had the opportunity to actually commentate at Evo, I've had numerous opportunities from many people just blowing up my email, sending me propositions and opportunities to just like proposals to
Mm-hmm.
come work with them. And I was like, wow, this is actually a thing. Like, ever since Evo, like a lot of us have been receiving opportunities to come out to events and basically promote their event, and they'll accommodate us and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, like this is almost like a dream. Like, I never thought this would happen. And
I'm very
um
glad that happens because I've always been on the topic of like you guys have to compensate commentators. They get a lot more camera time than even the best top players. They represent the scene in so many more ways and in different
mhm.
ways that we need to compensate them because if we don't compensate them in any way, they're just not gonna stick around. We always
Yeah,
said that since day one, but a lot of people didn't really believe me at first. But now that you guys like you and Prague are like, you guys did it. Now people are like, yeah, yeah, now we should. I'm like, no, man, we should have done this like years ago. Like, God damn it.
exactly. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just happy though, cause now ever since like Evo, ever since the documentary as well, we've the Smash scene as a whole is just like more mainstream. You know what I'm saying? We're actually getting more people actually realize we exist, and some people are actually have been changing their stance as to whether or not they like the game being played, competitively and without items and certain janky stages. So I'm happy about that. That was a big step forward for our scene. And like, let me tell you, like me and Prague, we went to this one NYU event, and there were tons of people that like came in, like just came through and were showing love for the documentary when they saw Milk Tea and him, and I forgot who else was there, Jake too, and they were just like so elated to see like, oh my goodness, you guys were in the documentary. Let me tell you, I didn't even know Smash had a community, and it's crazy. You would think all this time with all the videos that we've had on YouTube, that people would know that we had a scene, but still people don't know we exist. It's crazy. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I think it was a big thing that we actually got on Evo, and we try to bridge the gap with the FGC ever since Apex, and Evo just basically solidified that because now like people just from the FGC they just respect Smash all the time. You might still have a few trolls here and there, but trolls they're always gonna exist. What are you gonna do?
Just
So
I
uh,
believe that trolls, even though they troll, they still give attention to the topic. So man, just let them be.
mhm
Also, as you
mhm
say, Smash is a place in everybody's heart. I remember when I went to AGDQ early this year in January. They had this own. They had this tournament room, right? That was like gaming room or something like that for different games. And Melee, they had so many Melee setups that they were like, let's do a Melee tournament. And I had like almost 70 entrants, right? Just out of
yep
nowhere. And I managed to make it to top three.
mhm
I remember playing Cosmo, Zelda speedrunner in losers finals, and I beat him. But since finals were being played on Sunday, I had to give up the spot, because I wasn't gonna be there for grand finals. So I just won losers finals, and I'm like, Cosmo, you can take this one.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. But yeah, I believe that was this past year, right? 2014, you said?
Yeah, it was 2014,
Yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah. Mm.
it was so surprising to me to see like people like Stiglemic, so
Mhm.
many speedrunners just playing Melee and just going at it and enjoying. I was like, wow, dude. I thought these guys wouldn't play Smash and much less competitively, but they all really love it.
Yeah.
Smash is in everybody's play, hearts. I believe Smash can be so much bigger than what it really is. I think we're in a good track. That really opened up my eyes and gave me a lot of hope.
Yeah, I will say
Hmm.
the main thing we need though is just that first party support, man. Like
Oh my god.
that's just that's the main thing that we need to get, because like our scene has been doing good. I think we've made big strides. We're already on our way to like everybody now is trying to be, for the most part, professional. At least most of the faces, I think. Some of I feel like some of the pro players though they have a couple things they need to work on as far as fixing the way they speak in the public's eye, because there's certain times you'll see certain players, they'll say, they'll say curse words, or they say the word gay and stuff like that, and it's not good, to say stuff like that if you don't know who's watching. You know what I'm saying? You want to put on a good example for the ones that are up and coming in the scene. You want to let them know, hey, these are our famous faces of the scene. They know them. Let's try to set a better example for those that are coming in. Let them know that our scene is more approachable. Try to make us look a bit more better. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, yes, dressing the part is one thing, but you have to walk it too. We have to walk the walk, talk the talk, all that stuff. So yeah, as far as marketability is concerned, I think as long as our players just basically show maybe to the first party developers that yes, it would be really good if you actually invested time in us, maybe our scene would probably get better. I will tell you one thing though. I am talking to people behind the scenes. Can't say
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
I can't say which people, but I am talking to important people behind the scenes. And if things happen, things will happen. Things will happen. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying my best. I'm working.
You heard
Like
it here. You heard it first. It's your stream.
Yeah. I can't say exactly what I'm working on, but it's a secret project that I've been working on by myself
Mhm.
for ever since late last year.
Mm.
And I'm trying my best to make all of us look good. There are times where, people don't realize why certain times I may try to make people change the way they act on when it comes to certain debates, certain subjects. Why, it would be best to say things a certain way because everybody's watching. You may never know, but we may have a representative from a certain company watching, and they're like, I really wanted to invest time in the scene, but after seeing this, I can't believe it. This is embarrassing. I wouldn't want my name linked to that, and then we'd just lose our chance. So please, all the smashers, man, um, just try your best to put on your put on just try always to think that people are always looking at you. Once you think like that, you might actually change the way you act when it in the public side. You know what I'm saying? Because we were one bad apple always ruins the bunch. Sadly, like all the work that I could be putting in and Prague and a whole bunch of others, it could go down the drain once one other famous person known in the scene destroys something, like does something really bad. Then all of a sudden, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Smash is bad, Smash is this, Smash is that," and then we might lose our opportunities again. I mean,
Mhm.
we were with MLG before,
Mhm.
and then out of nowhere, we like got dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that happens again? What if all of a sudden all this momentum we get where we're moving up with Smash, and out of nowhere something bad happens, and then pew,
It's
and
a
then we just,
it's a
you know,
two-step process. It's first step is to make it there. The second step is to stay there, and the
that's
second
it,
the, and,
zero.
and the second one is harder.
It's so much harder. It's so much harder. You said it better than me, Zero. You said it. We stay there. So I implore everybody, man, just try to follow our example, because it really pains my heart sometimes when I try to invest a lot of time in the scene, and then I see people just like act like they don't really care about all the hard work we're doing and just revert back to doing all the wrong things. Like, so I'll tell you, man, there are times where I talk to Prague, and I'll be honest, man. There are times he felt like he just wanted to throw in the towel, man. But I had to keep letting him know, man. Even though a lot of these people don't listen, we gotta just keep going. We just gotta keep setting the right example. Sooner or later, these people are gonna listen to us, and we just gotta keep fighting until sooner or later they'll shape up. Like all these little projects that we've been having. Things like, a lot of people. There was like a big debate about sexism in Smash. That thing. That was another effort, basically, to try to make people realize, we need, I know it's a whole bit different subject, but just to touch a little bit on it, the main idea is to just show respect to your fellow female gamers, because to be quite honest, if you look at the ratio of girls to guys, there's way less girls than guys in our community, and there's probably a good reason for that. So,
Mhm.
so of course, the main effort, thanks to Lilo, Milk Tea, and a whole bunch of other people that were working hard behind the scenes, Tafikans, Ty, all them, they're just trying their best to help fix the ratio, make the scene more approachable, and accessible, of course, to people of all different genders, but mainly we're focusing, of course, on the female one, since that was the one that was currently lacking. But at the same thing, what you can take from that is, at the same time, trying to make the scene good for female gamers, make it also the same way for people of all different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Even if people are transgendered, or if a person's gay, because there's certain times where people may say the wrong thing around gay people, people from the LGBT community,
Mhm.
and people need to watch what they're saying. Same thing with when it comes to females, and also, of course, also another thing that people don't really notice, but when it comes to players that are new in the scene, people need to be a little more sensitive, because when a person first comes into the scene, they
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 don't know
of
what's going
course,
on.
yeah, they don't know
You
what's
you
going
have
on, and
you
you
have
don't want to scare them away. Think about it.
yeah.
Act like you're in the safari zone, right? And you see a new Pokemon. You throw a little bait and they're nibbling on it. You're not gonna throw a rock at it. If you throw a rock at it, it's gonna leave. You
You
know what
throw
I'm
a
saying?
couple.
So
Okay, you throw a couple baits and then you throw the rock. And while you're at that, throw the Pokeball in, man, and hey, man, yeah, you did it, man. You got him. You gotta catch
you know,
them all.
we got, But you know what I'm saying, man. Like, but yeah. Whew, wait, what? Uh,
What's up? What's up?
anyway, so yeah, like I said, the main thing is, just try to make sure you treat everyone as equals, and that's the main thing I'm trying to preach to everybody. But as far as me, if people just want to know like what's going on for me this year, I have like a little calendar of events that I'll be attending, because it's getting quite late and I would like to continue on. But
Mhm.
just to make the long story short, um thanks to a lot of the efforts with me, Apex, and a bunch of the other people in the scene, now Smash is actually looking way better. It's a lot of companies. Whenever I go to like trade events, like I go to PAX and even anime conventions, people come up to me and they're like, "Yo, man, I see Smash is getting real big, man, and I see you like almost everywhere when it comes to Smash." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm just trying my best to help make the community have a better image. I'm saying, to the best of my ability." And they appreciate it a lot. And I just hope everybody else within the scene tries their best to also try to make the scene look better. But yeah, as far as where you guys can see me for this year, so for April 26th to 27, I'll be in Illinois. That's gonna be for Fighter's Edge. That's gonna be a bunch of fun. T.O.
See ya there.
Joe.
See ya there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good to see you there, man. We're gonna be hanging.
You know who I was talking to about that event? I don't know if you know this person, but I was talking to Gandhi about
Mhm.
he's gonna be doing some commentary job over there, if I'm not mistaken. Gandhi being a huge personality in the Halo community. Scott Lucier. Right, but
Mhm.
he was the original Team Carbon member back in Halo 2, and they were beating Final Boss. They took the national championship in 2006. So props to that person. I've been a huge fan of him for a while, so it's gonna be awesome to meet him for two times. So it's awesome
Yeah.
that you mentioned that tournament, D1.
So he's a big time commentator.
Yes, he went from professional gaming into professional commentary. He did years of commentary at MLG.
Sweet. Wow, it's gonna be quite the treat to work alongside that guy, man. Oof.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's gonna be the next stop you guys are gonna see me, man. It's gonna be good. Of course, if you guys are following me on Twitter or on my stream, I'll let you guys know what other future events I'll be at. But as the next one after that, just to touch on that a little bit, will be Get on My Level in Canada. I don't know if you guys know that event, but it's going to be another MLG grassroots event, and Tio Joe's actually hosting that one. And I believe he's trying his best to he's trying his best to actually what's it called, raise funds to try to help me get out there. So if you have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter or anything, and I'll let you know the details. I'm not trying to take away from the cause that's being that's going on over here. But yeah, you have any other more questions? I feel like
No,
sometimes I feel like.
we went over everything. You literally covered everything I wanted to talk to you about in perfect manner. You went over all the details, all the cool stuff that everyone wanted to hear, and I actually had a great time listening to you, man. I really appreciate your effort into coming into the show pretty late. I understand you're a busy person, so I really appreciate it, especially because of the short notice. So
Mhm.
thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it. I guess let's see. My final words will then be if you guys wanna check out my stream, you already know where to find me. I'm at D1MX on Twitter, at XD1X, and YouTube D1MX. I'll be pumping out tons of content. I also have a blog on xd1x.tumblr.com. I need to do more submitted stuff there. Probably post a couple stories going, more in depth my history and stuff as a smasher, since I can't do it all in one night. I'll literally hold you guys for like hours if I were to keep on talking. So I had to basically cut this short. But yeah, where are you going tomorrow, Zero? By the way, you said you're going to Fight Pit, or
Oh no, I cannot go to Fight Pit. The thing is that Mewtwo King hacks and everything. I actually interviewed Mewtwo King over the phone. Now that's a kind of funny story how to manage to I don't have a phone in the United States, that one that works, so I got
Mhm.
Skype Premium just to call people and for this occasion over the
Yeah.
Skype thing, and I managed to get a hold of wife and Nintendo and husband and also Mewtwo over the phone, and yeah, so it's been great. They had to leave today at afternoon, so they were looking for somebody else, but I'm doing this, and so I couldn't go.
Ah.
Hmm.
That's unfortunate. But
It's
yeah,
unfortunate, but I promised I was gonna do it, and this is very important to me. So yeah, that's that.
I'm that's beautiful. I respect that. Yeah. Good
Hmm.
job, Zero.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
But it wouldn't be possible without people like you who will come into the show and then just talk about everything that's on their minds. It's definitely a team effort. I'm just the one that's moving the ties and putting everything together, but you guys are the pieces themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Most definitely.
So yeah, about your project, if you ever need anything on help about it in any aspect, just let me know, man. I'll be glad to help with any project. So next time I see you streaming, I'll make sure to retweet you. So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Um, the last thing I was gonna say was if people didn't know, I actually for the balance of the year, probably up until August, I'm strictly dedicating my time mainly to just like producing content, commentating at events, and just doing whatever I can for the scene. Because like I lost my job in March, right? I actually got laid off, and ever since then I said, okay, um, since I have a bunch of events already on my calendar, it's if I were to actually get a new job, it would be impossible for me to attend any of these events. And since I actually was a good employee, I'm currently getting unemployment insurance. So in the meantime, I said while I get that, I'll try to see if I can dedicate a couple months to the scene to the best of my abilities. So I'm gonna try my best to go on tour to as many events as I can, if I can. And yeah, I hope you guys could see me everywhere. I'm gonna try to polish up my skills as a commentator, see if I can actually get better at learning how to edit videos, maybe do some match analyses, and a whole bunch of stuff dedicated to the Smash scene. Do more writing. So I'm gonna go hard for you guys this year, and all I need is your loving support, like you guys have always been doing, and that's it, man.
Greatly appreciate your help then, and I hope I meet you. I get to see you more often, at these events, and maybe I'll go. Maybe we'll go up to New York for one of your fests, man.
Oh yeah, man. Let me tell you, I've been doing a lot of Project M Fests lately, trying to basically break the game open so that we could all figure out how to beat all the quote unquote like cheap tactics. So yeah, man, if you want to come by, man, it would be great to have your pit or any other characters you choose come down and teach us a thing or two.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So hey, man. It's time to wrap up this interview. I wanna thank you for spending your time here, man. I hope you have a great day tomorrow.
All right, I will, man. I'm gonna actually be at Alucard's event at No John's. I believe he has a Project M and Melee event there. So I'm gonna go show support, try to attend a couple more local events, and maybe even enter. Who knows?
Good luck in entering then.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
All right, man. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right, hey, and good night, stream. All right, take care.
Mhm.